Welcome to this episode of the Public Nuisance Podcast, brought to you from Killen Studios, right here, where you can get all your content on. Videos, photo shoots, podcasts, tailored for you, you name it, it's here. Big shout out to That Praise Guy, my sponsor, doing thousands of pounds in prizes every day, watches, luxury holidays, luxury cars, classic cars. Who knows, get yourself involved in the draw and you could be a lucky winner. Aaron Smyth, pleasure to have you on, mate.
Good to see you, Sean.
Been a wee while. It's been a while, hasn't it?
It's been a wee while,
I'd say probably the last time you were probably on the
Is the swallow? Yeah, probably.
That's a good sign, because you start. That's when you know you're doing well, when you take a back seat and you disappear from society and all the surroundings that probably will pull you back into.
Do drag you in. You know, it's easy. It's easy just to be caught up in it all. For me now, I'll stay out of it. You know what I mean? I stay out of trouble and try and just stay away from any temptation. I have to. You know what I mean?
Liam, like we were just talking before, he's obviously 11 months with your Steve. They're working the car and they're funny together.
They're chaotic, aren't they?
It's like Laurel and Hardy.
I call him the Stevens. I give him about 10-15 minutes and I have to leave again. He's fucking nuts.
He's full of beans.
He is. He drinks about 17 coffees a day as well.
Liam's the same. It's obviously like,
it's just a substitute.
It's
know what I mean?
Like addictive personalities.
Even
like,
Stephen's eating. He fucking does it. He always does is eat. Like every time I go in that house, he's at 10 or 11 o'clock at night.
He does some eating, but he's but like you say, the addictive personality. Like I was speaking about this a few weeks ago. I had mates I grew up with who like would cut out one thing and just go on, like say like smoking weed flat out, and then we'll try and stop smoking weed, then we'll just start taking coke.
It just swaps to something else.
It's
just a comfort, you see.
Booking, or like gambling.
It's just a comfort. It's just any way of avoiding a discomfort in yourself. For me, anyway, I had this self-hatred for myself. I hated who I was, and even though I didn't, like, I hid that well when I was younger.
Yeah.
I was quite popular. You know what I mean? All I done was play football. Was quite popular, but underneath it all, I was fucking squealing inside. You know what I mean? My insides were churning inside out all the time, and I had no confidence. Even though I played football, no confidence whatsoever. And all that stuff, drugs, women, cars, even money, it was all just avoiding. It was just for me to feel better. Like if I had a woman by my side, I felt like, oh fuck, I can feel better. You know what I mean? Look at me, look at I'm able to do, and it was all ego. It's all just pure ego.
Well, because you grew up in a house with 5 older brothers. You're the youngest.
I was youngest.
What was that like? It had to be like, it must have been like fucking. Obviously, I have 3 older brothers. Like, I've Liam, Dee, Jared, and I have a younger sister. I'm youngest son, but
your house probably was a bit like mine. It was fucking chaotic. You know what I mean? Back in them days, Sean, people didn't come and give you a hug when you were crying. You got a slap around the ear and told to get out the door. You know what I mean? And you got the same treatment. But like when I've been doing a bit of writing, obviously in the program and stuff like that, and I've been able to piece together the stuff that I'm through. And the first punishment beating in my ma's house happened when I was 6. You know what I mean? I was in the house that morning.
It's trauma, like.
Trauma, 100%. And so I was in the house that morning, and I remember all the fellas coming to the door and just flicking my ma to the side and trailing Gam down the stairs and taking my away. And from that day forward, I think the dynamic in my ma's house changed. It changed completely. Like my dad, you wouldn't know my dad's a drinker. But back in years ago, I can remember my dad going through a period where he was fucking... I watched him stumble and fall over the street and all. He didn't come home for days himself. And like his way of coping was probably going to drink. I know that because of the work I've done, that I couldn't cope. I couldn't cope with general life. Like the simple wee things used to set me off, and all I wanted to do was drink. I couldn't cope with good feelings. Couldn't cope with bad feelings. Anything at all. If I felt shit, I wanted to use.
Yeah.
If I felt good, fuck, I was brilliant straight in the bar after football. I mean, that's just the way it was. But growing up, I was a bit mental. It's only now that I'm able to piece it all together. I don't know whether you can never really say that's the reason I ended up addicted to substances, right? But what I do know is that surely what had an effect on me, because it wasn't just Gavin. You know what I mean? Gavin got shot, or Gavin got beat when he was 16. He was the youngest punishment beaten in West Belfast. And then after him, he was beat about 5 or 6 times, and then Seamus was shot, and then after Seamus, Wayne was shot, and like all that stuff has an effect on me. Like. When that happened with Wayne, like I used to go to youth club, play football, trying to be the fucking best kid I could be, and I used to get called from youth club to go up and have to wash and clean Wayne and all. Do you know what I mean? And I'm proud to say that I was able to do that today. See if you asked me to do that 2 years ago, Sean, I wouldn't have been able to do that, because the progression of my disease got that bad that I wasn't even functioning. I couldn't function in normal daily life, you know what I mean? Every single day was a struggle to me, and I hit it well. like I didn't show it to anybody, but when my kids, like I say, we spoke about before, when my kids and all around me, I was just ready to blow all the time, or else if I wasn't ready to blow, I was constantly crying. Even when I was on the drink,
I've seen you as well. Like I feel like a lot of the like trauma that's stuck inside you comes out when you're drinking or when you're using. Because I've seen you talk about stuff, and I've vented myself. Like I'd be sitting sober a lot of times. I would call the mornings the next day,
and I'm crying out for somebody.
I bring a carrot, and then I can see there's only a couple of you sitting there, and the stuff you're saying, I'm going, he's like
struggling.
That's his way
of
talking.
Trying to speak.
He's confident as saying it because everyone else is on that level of like talking personal shit, and you're saying stuff, and you can see, and I'm going.
I was like that, but when I look back, it was probably a cry for help. Do you know what I mean? It was a way of me releasing some sort of feeling that I was feeling inside that I didn't understand. Because back then I had no understanding what the fuck was going on. I just hated everything. I hated everything about me. I hated the way I was. I hated being insecure. I hated being so emotional. You know what I mean? Man, you probably see me crying. You probably see me crying fucking all the time. You know what I mean? I mean, me and Martin had an argument and I'd bolted down the street crying. You know what I mean? That's just the way it was. And I was just so sensitive and overly emotional, fucking very insecure. And like the football for a while sort of made me be able to channel that. Football gave me a freedom, like, and I've been doing, like I said, I was doing a bit of writing, and I can take football right back to my fucking early days when standing at the front door and just bouncing the ball off the wall. And happiest times. And like, I don't remember none of my childhood, Sean, for some reason. And I'm only starting to realise that. I can't remember none of my childhood. My ma's the best ma that you could ever have hoped for. She gave me everything I wanted, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I can never remember good parts. Like, I always remember all them big, massive traumas, all the shootings, all the punishment beatings, paramilitaries coming to the door. Like, paramilitary sent a funeral card to my ma's door one day, and I answered the door to the hearse, asking for the body of my brother, and my brother wasn't even dead, you know what I mean? Here, and my ma just passed out, passed out, and I was like, what the fuck did I do here, you know what I mean? And then, obviously, I progressed for years after, and like, I watched my ma get through multiple breakdowns. And see, to be honest, that was the hardest part of my upbringing that I don't really, and haven't really spoke about. Watching my ma, me being the youngest, and me being the closest to her probably at that time, watching her suffer was so hard for me. And now that I've done all the work, I can understand that I felt this responsibility growing up. And I didn't know what it was at the time, but I felt like I had to be the one to change the dynamic in my whole family, or else make my ma happy. So I spent my whole life then trying to please my ma, make her happy and give her everything she wanted. From a young age, like, it's traumatizing for anybody younger through it. But listen, she's still here today, you know what I mean? She's a fucking strong woman for what she's been through. Like, she's a bull.
Anyway, like, I think they're all built that way.
Built that way,
family, like, they're all like.
Your family was the same. Your family was mental as well.
I think, like, because when you were younger, like, obviously you were older than me, and I always like looked up and seen all you, like, you're just always had a football, running about Man United kid on, just constantly playing football, had a football at your feet constantly, and then you go, well, like.
How does this happen?
How did it change? Because you would never know what, like, you wouldn't have known back then that you were like
going down that road.
Because you didn't, like, when all your mates were probably standing drinking in the street, you were like me, to be honest with you. Like, I didn't drink. You didn't, like, you wouldn't have drank when all your mates were standing in the corner drinking. You know what I mean? Like, so that's even like gone. All were standing drinking, and all them as well. You were.
I didn't, and that's like,
so
even
you go, like, wonder when it just goes like that. You know what I mean?
See, to be honest, like, so. Even Cricky Bailey and all before them, when they all started getting out, I sat in the house. I didn't want to go out. Like I said, I was that insecure. I was that small and that slight that I wasn't comfortable. I wasn't comfortable going out, because first thing that happened, I get hit for ID, and straight away it made me feel that size. It made me feel tiny. So I stopped going out, and then when I did start going out, I used to sit in a corner and get one of my mates to go to a bar, and I didn't like drinking for some reason. From the very first day that I ever drank, no hard. Tell you a story. The first time I ever had a drink, I've landed up in the sticky streets, and I spotted Stephen drinking, and I must have been about 11, 12, and Stephen came around and grabbed me by an neck and made me drink 2 WKD, so I couldn't do it on him.
You were drinking, he was drinking?
Yeah, so I couldn't do it on him, man. And after that, I tried drinking about multiple times, and every time I was drinking, I used to be sick.
Yeah.
I had this thing where, even at that age, as soon as I drank, I wanted to guzzle everything. I wanted to drink everything all at once, and it made me constantly sick. And I got to the point where, obviously, I tried it when I was young, and it didn't really, because I was constantly being sick, I stopped then.
Yeah.
And then I trained like a freak. Like, addiction, I trained like an addict in the gym, you know what I mean? Even running, like, me and Mark went out running one day as well, and he was doing about 10 sports at once, Gaelic, football, boxing, and then I thought he was going to blow me out of the water, and I used to do these runs at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And I used to sit and watch TV doing sit-ups and all. It was just freakish, and it's not normal to have a childhood like that, you know what I mean?
Like
just driven.
It's obviously driven in a way, but like,
it's
not
avoiding.
It's something that you're blocking something.
Blocking something out, and I didn't really notice all that until only 9. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like that, like, obviously that drive, I had that drive in me. See, when I went to Clinville, I never believed I was good enough, Sean. I didn't think it was the best in my age group in football levels. I never played for Milk Cup teams. I didn't play for Northern Ireland up until I was nearly 16, 17, and then 16 years of age, 15, sorry. Newhill, I won Player of the Year and Players Player with Jamesy and Gerald on the team, and I didn't even turn up to the presentation because I didn't. That's just my mind tells me all the time that I'm not good enough, so I didn't go to the presentation, and then I ended up winning them 2 awards: Players Player and Managers Player. Yeah. Once you get Players Player, you're respected. You know what I mean? 100%. The year after again, Kirky Graham was selected to go to a Clinville select team and to go to America, and obviously me and him playing the same team. He was picked before me, so he joined Clinville in that pre-season, and he goes to me, come up with me, no join. I was like, I won't get on, I'm not going up. Same for Clinville again, under 16, one Player of the Year and Players Player. So I was 2 years in a row. Then you're starting to believe we bit of momentum here coming. I got started to sense, Sean, that I was a late developer. You know what I mean? But I started to believe, fuck me, I'm
capable of playing here.
I'm not even just capable. I'm so right quickly, there. I progressed that quickly. I was more than matching them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then under 16 Clinville, obviously 17s, Clinville under 18, and then I won Player of the Year and Players Player again. And within, for some reason, there was players playing in front of me in the reserve team that I didn't think were better than me at that stage, and ended up, he believed that I was too small, so I played one reserve game and only played 1 or 2 reserve games, bang, straight in the Clinville first team up training with him, and that third time again, like I spoke to you about the freedom I had when I was playing, even in them early days. After my debut, when I was 17 for Clinville, and I remember phoning Kirky Bailey, Martin obviously, and then saying to them, listen, I could play at a higher level, and that was the truth at that time. I believed that I could, because finally I was feeling like I was matching people, not even matching them, but I was doing things, you know what I mean?
Just at that level, obviously,
like even for you boxing, like people, what do you call people matured at different ages.
I was the same. I was a late developer. Like I said, and I was just talking about that today with someone. But I was doing pads up in the. I was doing pads with Big Donald, and we were talking about like kids. When I had him in my first size title, I was 15, and then every year after that, but see, every year before it, I always would beat the finals, get beat by people who were just more mature than me, and RD was winning from the weights.
No weights, I remember D.
12, Arlene won them when he was 11, and they were just winning nice titles, and they used to slag me, torture me, be like, you're shit, you
so
can't
our
win nice. So I get tortured every night in my house going, you're shit, you can't even win nice title, and I was only one of them in one. So I was like, fuck, that was like my drive, I ain't gonna prove anything wrong, and when I won the first one, it was like, one, folks, you can't win, sure, that's easy. And then they had won 5 in a row or something, and I was like, I'll win more, and I'll win more, and then from there, I won them every single year at every level, right up to elite.
I think it must be like a belief system in yourself too that helps you progress, because when you constantly have them doubts, which I eventually know, which made me, like you were talking about how I ended up that way earlier on, and I sort of went off topic here, but alright, so when I was, what this drinking started for me, see, we were Clinville around at that time, Eddie Patterson was the manager, and he was on my case constantly. I had just one Young Player of the Year, I was in Team of the Year for the Irish League, and
that's a big achievement. Like,
it's massive.
See if you done that now, for like Linfield, Young Player of the Year or something, you'd probably be able to cross water in a year.
In a period of 10 years, in the last 10 or 15 years, I was the only player that didn't go across the water. But again, it comes back to that belief. Jerry Carlay was only a football agent, only coming through, and he asked me, there's a couple of trials set up for me, would I go? And I said straight up, no. And he was like, why? And I says, just not good enough, I won't go. But that was again me. My head just constantly tells me that I'm not good enough and I'm not worthy and all this here shit. So I didn't go anyway. And I stayed. And after winning Young Player of the Year and Team of the Year, at the end of the next season, and we were playing Copenhagen and all in the Champions League. And I played left wing, just chasing players about. And I ended up going to Eddie. Tommy Breslin, God rest him, he's dead now. And Brazzy was assistant. And Brazzy came to me and says, you've played the least and just letting you know. And obviously he was nudging me. You need to speak up for yourself here. You just won Young Player of the Year and you've played the least minutes of every player in the squad. And I nudged me to more or less go and speak to Eddie. And I went and spoke to Eddie at that time and asked him why I've played the least minutes and why I'm playing everywhere else but the position of one young player of the year. And he just told me straight up, you're second choice. Somebody else is going to play in front of you. And to be honest, I didn't mean that because I was still going to play. But the attitude towards me, eventually Sean got to the point where it destroyed me, right? Yeah, and the freedom that I got playing football had gone.
Yeah.
When I was going to play, all I thought about was he's going to scream, he's going to call me names, he's going to do this, he's going to put pressure on me. And I couldn't cope with the pressure. Like, when I look back, sometimes when I look back, I go to myself, you should have been stronger. Because to be any sportsman, as you know, you have to be mentally strong. See, at that age, it only took one thing to send me off the rails. And obviously, the traumas and the upbringing probably didn't help the situation either. But once that happened, there was no in between, Sean. Bang. As soon as I started drinking, from there I was blackout drunk and blackout drugs from 16 years nearly. And the whole 16-year period, not once have I ever been home. Like, one night.
Oh, nah.
Do you know what I mean? Never in my life. I'm sure you know what I mean? Many times you've seen me sitting, even sometimes when you used to come in, everybody was sleeping. And I was just dangling about the house. Know what I mean? On my own. Where is everyone? And everybody's like zombies, just fucking laying all over the place. And then I go to myself, I used to go, I used to think, how can a wee man like me take so much drugs and drink so much?
100%.
It was clearly because my mind was built to avoid myself as much as possible. Yeah. So it didn't matter the amount of drugs or drink I took, I was still chasing another high, you know what I mean? Yeah. And that kept me going for so long, like 5, 6, since I was able to stay awake for 6 days at a time, you know what I mean? Which is insane when you think about it.
It's mad where at the Valves from you. Have you ever like, obviously, like you do your 12-step program and everything else, and you're like your friends. It's great to see. It's refreshing to see. It's like the new. It's class to see, and I love. Like, see our Liam a year and a half ago, I couldn't speak to him. I know. I didn't want him anywhere near me. I was just like, he's too far gone. I just don't want him near me. He's too nice. Every time he spoke to me, he wrote to me every night at 10 o'clock. It was always just after 9 or.
And you knew he was probably
on the rip. And he was on the gear every night. And he was texting me, books, slabbering. You haven't walked a fucking damn ass, you know. And I was going, we grew up in the same household. I know every single thing that's wrong in your life, and you know everything that's wrong in mine. We've literally lived the same life. Like, no.
But that's see, people who are sick.
I mean, that's you telling yourself that's sitting off your head, fucking.
See, even Liam back then didn't know he was sick, but that's one of the defects he has.
Speak to him, he went to my man's 60th for the other day, right? And the court in the morning, they were all there having a drink. And I texted him the next day saying, well, how's he going on? Because I was at the fights and I went up late and he wasn't there. And he said, Sean, I had to get out of there ASAP. Like, my social anxiety was through the roof. He's like, that's my wake-up call. He's like, I'm 11 months sober and you're never really, like, you're never really rude.
Never.
He knows that, he says, but that was an eye-opener for me to go, I will never drink again. That is insane. He's like, and you always told me how hard it is to win the company sober, because I've always done it loads and loads, and I just like, you need to learn to just put the blinkers on. People always say to me, how do you do that? And it's
if you're comfortable in yourself,
people know you.
It's like you're comfortable. Like we spoke before the podcast started there, and I was saying to you about like the things you do. You're comfortable in yourself. Like people who aren't like that, for me anyway. It took me to do all this work on myself before I was able even to walk in the room. I walked in the room and I thought everybody was staring at me and everybody hated me and everybody was talking about me. Straight away, that's the way my head went, and that's the disease of addiction. Addiction's you can't tell the difference from reality and insanity, you know what I mean? And every time I walked in the room, I felt like all eyes were staring at me and everybody was talking about me, and same boat with Liam, even Stephen and all too, you know what I mean?
People don't even know their true potential or their true selves until they get sober. Our Liam's only starting to learn who he is now. And you were the same, you're probably going like, what?
It takes time, but
all his potential.
It's all them uncomfortable things that I used over, you know what I mean? Like, even though come in here and you'd be a bit nervous, like I now know that when I'm nervous, it's just my body's defense. It's just telling me something's wrong or something's happening, you know what I mean? And before I was like, fucking something on me here, and I would have wanted an old sniff to take it away or something, you know what I mean? And
just something
just to take the edge of it. And like, even see Liam, like that's the thing where me getting clean as well. Like, I never expected to help so many people, and like to see Liam, Stephen, like you says, it seems they've changed something in Turf Law. Not just me doing it, but I mean, for me anyway, people around me, I can see that me getting clean, it doesn't just help me. It benefits so many other people.
People like our names, like just a perfect example. Arlene going, you don't know what I've been through. He thinks he's the only one that was his. And I brought Arlene to AA. That's her whole story. I says, you're going to AA and not listen to this bollocks no more. You're not. Don't be text me again. You're going to AA. He's like, I'm not going. I mean, you fucking are. He's like, I'd love to, but I'm not going. Next day I phoned him, he's in work, because he never fucking answered the phone to me during the day, because I knew he was sober. I rang him, he answered the phone. I mean, you're going to AA night. I'm picking up at 7 o'clock. No, fuck, Sean, I love to, but I can't, no, I couldn't do it. You come with me? He was like a child.
That's it, but it's fear, you know what I mean?
But he walked in, he didn't have to talk to him, he just had to listen to our people. And someone told a story, and
you can relate it straight away.
He thought you were bad, or people who by their uncles and dads, and they were
people living in the street.
Alcoholics, and they're doing well for themselves, and they're 10 years sober, and what? He's like, that's a real outcome. I mean, see, you think you have problems now, Liam, and then see from that day, he's never drank again.
See, that's like
up to now,
like you said, the self-pity mode, and there's no one like me. I'm hard done by and all this here stuff until he hears somebody else's story, and that's the part in the rooms that I go to as well. Like, you hear somebody else sharing their story, and so much of it you can identify and relate to, and it changes your whole mindset. If like when I first meeting I ever went to, there was something like 85 people in it, all Americans over from a convention and all. And I was absolutely shitting myself. So I just sat down and just bawled my eyes out. I cried for the full hour and cried for about 6 weeks straight after it. Just constantly cried, and a lot of time I didn't even know why I was crying, but obviously it was a release. Just a release that I probably needed to. But it's mental. Like, I could never have thought that me getting clean would have helped and branched out to so many people. You know what I mean? Seeing Liam, even Stephen, like I said earlier on, our Stephen's household is the happiest house you'll ever walk into. You know what I mean?
He's singing at the top of his lungs.
It's insane. Like, it's mental. But it's a happy house, and even his kids, his wee girl just smashing football around me.
Yeah.
She's flying, you know what I mean?
And it's good. It's
all that falls away. See, if that's what I mean, all that falls away if he doesn't.
I know.
If she doesn't have a safety place to be in and all that stuff, but it all has an effect, and thankfully he's doing. He's flying.
He's going well. Is he a year yet? He'd be a year now.
He's coming up to a year.
He's like a few weeks before Liam, like, because he was 2 weeks or 3 weeks before Liam. Or Liam's 11 months yesterday, or 2 days ago. So Stephen will be coming up maybe next week, a year. Like,
he was
that's a good milestone. That's class. That's like that's him. Like, if them two can just stick together, like, because Killen phoned me the other day, and he's sober and he's telling me all about it. And then, you know what? See the smile that puts my face. Just seeing like people from the area who were like smoking crack and fucking gone. Now I have family members in the same situation, and I'm going like, I wish these cunts would just open their eyes up and go, what am I doing? Like,
sometimes people don't see it. Like, even for me, Sean, see, I just didn't believe. Like, I kept telling myself and promised, like, even all the actresses and all stuff with kids' mass and all was if I promised them every week that I wasn't going to do the same things that I'd done. And see, I fucking I meant it. This is the thing, but I believed that I meant this. Know what I mean? I'd said it and finished and not go back near it. A couple of days later, you're away again. You don't even know you're sick. You know what I mean? That's the thing. You don't know you're unwell.
And then if someone tells you you're sick at home,
and you're not,
right. I'm
alright.
Football again, back on Tuesday.
So I used to get periods.
It doesn't matter.
I was able to get these long periods off the drink, and then like get football back together. Like, obviously we're Climball losing the career, not the career anyway, but
back to McCrackens.
Back to McCrackens. You know, I left Climball, and then I thought. Went to Lisburn and Stirling. The drinking and all was just continuing recklessly. And then I was saying for Carrick Rangers a year after that again. And this is another story. Like, I don't know how I've done it. I played a game, Sean. I was out for 3 or 4 days straight. Went out 2 days before Christmas. And the game was the day after Boxing Day. And I was taking it easy for fucking all them days, 27, 30 easy or something. Probably took over them days. And I took the last one at 11 o'clock. And the match kicked off at 3 and I played. I turned up the match for no boots, no tracksuit. Jody Lynch, of all people, he's clean now as well, lent me his jacket, and I had a cheek to turn up and play, and I played 75 minutes.
Madness. It's a heart attack rate.
And I played 75 minutes, couldn't believe it, got through it. And I'm just mental, like, how do you even do shit like that?
I know, it's when you look back, you go, fuck me, I could write a book, like, I could literally write a book.
It's insane.
It's like,
but see, like,
that's happening to everyone. Like, that's going to happen to 90% of, but in fact, probably more than that. If you look at 90% of people who run around in a group of people from like the likes of Turf Lodge or like a working class area, that's what's going to happen to 90% of them people growing up, like 95%, you know what I mean? Like if I look at every one of my mates I grew up with, like I would say I'm probably like the only one that's not like an addiction with drugs, like mad addiction with drugs, like I'm talking Spoon, Nico, all the lads I grew up with, like all the ones I run about
like
with,
Turf Lodge as well. You know what I mean? Drugs are everywhere, but you can't really. That's the thing. I done that conference on Friday or two, and one of the guys, he was from the country, and says, like, how do I protect my kids from? And I says, realistically, you can't hold kids' hands 24/7.
You can't do it.
Like you can guide them, you can try and give them awareness. You know what I mean? Like I'm speaking about now, I speak about it, and people probably watch the podcast, and people watch the other podcast I done, and it helps them. It gives them some sort of awareness of what they're going through. But for me, it took me, like, I should have known from the very start I had an issue, because early days of Clinville, the managers were pulling me about the drink was a problem. They were hearing stories that was partying night before games. Trinity Lodge was fucking at the back of my house. So Christmas night every year we used to, Solitude or Clinville and Crusaders is a derby every Boxing Day, and I was in this Trinity Lodge every Christmas night, and then get up and just left straight to the match. Didn't even sleep. Just used to go and play the match sometimes, and fuck me, I
know that's it. Like if you think that's you in a sport career, like playing football at high level and doing that. And there's people who work 9 to 5, they're definitely going to be doing it. You know what I mean? 9 to 5, now Fridays and Friday, what else are you going to do?
Like, see, the consequences of me using had started right away. And it took me 16 years, Sean, to notice. Yeah. You know what I mean? Everybody else around me probably knows. You probably going, there's fucking, like I said, you probably even know, man, there's something wrong with him. Like, you know what I mean? You probably seen the states of his land, and you looking at me knew right away there was something wrong with me. And like I said, the way I even spoke in the parties and all that.
I was just, you know, like it was trauma. It's like, because that's the stuff people talk about. Like, they talk about deep shit.
I just wanted to lock someone in the corner and give me a heart to heart.
He's getting deep shit. He's getting a release here. He's getting something off his chest that he wants to get off his chest, like now, but he won't do it sober.
And then it's forgot about again.
And then it's like, people, I don't know, it's mad, but it's obviously just something that you just keep doing, because it's like you've probably told the same story
100 million times
in 5 different parties over fucking 5 weekends.
Like, it got to a point for me where sometimes I was thinking that I was helping. Like, I don't know where my head was at, but I think I was. You know what I mean? I couldn't help myself, and I thought I don't know. I think my mind. I thought I'm obviously scunnered about that. I'm scunnered about that.
I've experienced it, and you're trying to help other people.
That's exactly it. I'm trying to help somebody and I can't even fucking. Their way home 3 days before me, like I was giving him advice, and Harry helps himself and gets off it, and I'm still sitting there 4 days later. You know what I mean? It's insane, but
it is. It's just the way. I think it's just the way. Like, look at Ricky Hatton. You know what I mean? I would say, see what you were saying earlier about shame. I firmly believe Ricky Hatton was like depressed a while ago when he got divorced and all, and he was obviously. He was taking drugs and all, he was still coke, whatever else, and then I think he got himself help. He was suicidal. He speaks about this on a podcast and stuff with James English or something, and he talks openly about it, and he's very open. He says, like, I had this thing where, and this is another thing, like, he was world champion, the company was worth for like, say 40 million, loaded, had everything, and he says, when I went away for like weeks on end, working, maybe doing punditry, even after I retired, I wouldn't see my mates for like 2 or 3 weeks, and then I'd always had it in my head subconsciously, like, they probably think I'm getting too big for my boots, so I always nip back to the bar to see all the lads, and then I would drink, and then that's when the addiction would start, and I was sniffing gear with all the lads, because I'm trying to tell him, I'm not too big for my boots.
He's still trying to be somebody else instead of being his authentic self.
Like, alright, I am a wee bit like better than just sitting in this bar now. Because I'm I'm multiple weight world champion. I'm unified.
It's like peer pressure. It's like peer pressure only for an adult. You know what I mean?
He was a skirt. Know what that comes from? People saying that you think you're too good for you think that comes from like small-minded people. And see if someone says that. I said this then, and if you see if someone says to me now, like I have family members who say to me, "Oh, you think you are someone now?" as a joke. See if they say it to me, I go, yeah.
But you notice now that we're older, you notice anybody who steps away from crowds and stuff like that, they seem to be doing it well for themselves. They're the
100%.
ones, like, they set boundaries, and they're the ones that step away from trouble, hassle, and shade. You most of the thing in today's society, so shade, you know what I mean? You go down, bump into somebody in the street, and that's one thing I noticed as well. Getting clean, I'd fucking fuck on common with most people. All the people I sat with, fucking couldn't even
That's
have.
what I was talking to Killen about on the phone the other day. He was telling me about, he's like, I was bumped into such. He's like, I have nothing in common. And that's me, all the people I grew up with. Like, that's why I started running about St. James's. None of my mates in turf owned a pair of jeans. Like, none of them owned it. Like, you look like Lundy, Spoon, R. Steven, Marty Brannigan, all the lads. It was only me and Noki. And your Martin sort of run about with Sean Nolan on me, hijacked him off him and says, man, you run about with us. But it was probably only me and Noki, the only two people that would go out for a beer when we were 18. Up the court in the morning down at Trinity, Friday night project. No one else out of my mates owned a pair of jeans. I was all standing in the street drinking until they were like 30 odds. Probably still doing it now.
Oh, they some people.
Fuck this. Every weekend I'm standing in this street drinking at 18, 19. I've been doing this when I was 13. And we're still doing it. And I'm 18. I'm legal to go into a bar. Fuck this. I'm away. At that age, I'm on it. You're trying to touch for a new bird, though. You're not going to get in the street. Nico. Flat Dan's alley, you know what I mean? I was like, get me out of here, the fuck. So I started running about down St. James's. And then you were going out and having a swell and you're what they wait for. And then you started.
It just opened your mind up a bit to other places, other things.
And it's like, and then that's when I started to go, like, they're going, what the fuck, where have you been? I go, like, nothing in common, no more. Like.
But that's the thing, when you're strong minded and you're your own person, like, you leave people behind, you know what I mean? You have to, like, for your own benefit.
You're on your own venture.
You're on your own venture, you know what I mean?
You know what I mean?
You have to learn for yourself. You can't just be stuck with the same crowd or doing what they do just because they like it. You have to like it, you know what I mean? It can't be like that. It has to just be in. See, to be honest, I was probably like that too. I was just like that, you know what I mean? I wanted to be with the crowd. I actually hate it being on my own, to be honest. So I'd sit with anybody. That's cause on the street. But now it's different. I obviously can sit my own. But in the past, I fucking shit, Sean. I hate it. I hate it being on my own. Because any time I was on my own, I just needed to go somewhere, call and see somebody. A lot of times you end up on the drink with them again, you know what I mean?
No, that's it.
Just to face a circle.
I always like been on my own. Like, see, even still this day, I would go and sit. Like, see, I go to Amsterdam train, I would go and eat my own, go to sit in a coffee shop, my own, just sit and people watch. I love it.
I love that now, but my whole life I couldn't do it, and that was obviously the reason, because there was so much going on in my head. I hate it being on my own. Do you know what I mean? I was scared of my own thoughts, and obviously towards the end for me, my thoughts were suicidal. Like, I used to have this thing where I thought, I wish some car hit me. Like, I'd be going driving to work, and I used to think sometimes, I wish this car hit me, and it was just to get myself a break away from the chaos that it was causing everybody else around me, you know what I mean? And to get myself away from the drinking and drugs all the time. Because it was just a face of circle. It was
probably just like shame. It's like, I was saying, like, Ricky Hatton clean and all, and then he was sweet then for ages, and he done that dancing on ice and all, and he was going with Roman Claire Sweeney and all this carry on. He's relapsed again. And I think it's a shame. He's just went, people are helping me here, and I think, like, that's why I say relapse is the worst thing that happens to people, because it's so, like, you're so ashamed of what you've done. You're so ashamed, you feel like a loser. Like, I can't even, like, I've told all these people have been helping me, and I'm just broke. And I'm sitting here on my own, and he's probably sniffing gear, watching boxing, and he's probably just went, fuck this.
And the shame and guilt stops you from going and getting that help again, because you feel like you've let everyone down. And like, I watch people all the time, see the way it's happened, see the people who went out and relapsed, see their next period of using drugs. It's nowhere near what it was before, 100%. But it's 100 times worse. Like, they can't take as much drugs. And now they have an understanding of why they took the drugs in the first place, because what was going on in their head and stuff. And every time they take it, all they can think about is, they know now they shouldn't be doing it. They know they shouldn't be doing it
before they even do it.
Before they do it, know what I mean? But once they do it, they're scared to come back down to earth. They're scared of feeling the guilt and shame, and they just run away from it just by using all the time. And that, you say, as Ricky Hatton, I didn't know if his was his.
Well,
see,
I was speaking to a fella from Manchester who's friends with him, and he phoned me, like, before it was even out in the news. He phoned me and he was like, "Yeah, he done himself," and I was like, "What?"
See, when I see something like died suddenly at home, you know what I mean? That always rings bells to me, and it's sad to see. Like, because the thing is, with addiction, you're never out of the woods. My thing is, no matter what, I struggle to cope with feelings, right? Obviously, being that emotional and insecure and all that stuff, it stays with me, but I learn to cope with it better. Do you know what I mean? And at any given day when I'm feeling sad, that thought of using again comes back into my head. Do you know what I mean? So even though I'm coming up to 2 years clean here, like, I'll still
there.
the old
You're
thoughts.
addicted forever. You're addicted forever. Like it's
The old
doesn't mean
thought will
because
still come on.
you're just fighting with the temptation.
But
every day,
that's the
like.
thing where you get support. The support fucking like good connection with people, and it keeps you in the loop of
100%.
when you're not feeling
and
great. You
everyone
open
else
up,
is
you
feeling
speak
the
to them.
same. With the, like everyone else is connected in this program. We're obviously all feeling the same, so you can all help each other. You know what I mean?
But as soon as my experience anyway, as soon as I'm feeling a certain way nowadays, and I tell somebody, even you, when I told you coming in, I was nervous. It may settles me straight away because now I don't feel like I have to hide.
Yeah,
I'm nervous because I've already told
you're
you.
supposed to be nervous.
You know what I mean?
It's like people go to me like, "You're nervous for this fight?" Now, well, a wee bit like I'm not now, but I will be.
Oh, you will be when it
get
happens.
in the ring. I feel like I'm very honest about stuff. No, like I don't care enough of what people think, so I just tell them now. Of like.
But that's another big.
Like,
that's another big thing that drives people too. See like I said, I walk in the room and I constantly thought everybody was staring at me, talking about me, or watching me. Like, everybody has them thoughts. Not everybody thinks or worries about what everybody else thinks. And like I say, it's about that peer pressure and all too.
That's one probably where I'm good that way. Like Dervla will always like comment on it. She's like, you just don't care what people say. Or, like what I go, I don't care. Like for me, I look after myself and I'm clean. I dress alright the way I like to dress. And I'm not saying don't think for one second good looking, but I don't care if people think I'm bad looking. And I don't care what people think of me.
I
don't know where I'd ever developed from. I think my dad's very like that. My dad doesn't care about anything. Like he just seems to have that. He just doesn't care what he says to people. He's very cheeky. Doesn't care who he insults. He's like, and he's just that's the way he is. And he's like, so what?
But it's strong, man. Like for you being obviously, like I said to you, I sometimes think I should have been stronger. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Than what I was.
Like that time or Eddie Patterson, you could have spoken and told him, you went, no, do you fuck off.
Or even when
I want to transfer.
Like when things weren't going well, I should have been able to stick it out. You know what I mean? Where I just straight away once that football started to slide a wee bit and the enjoyment was coming out of it, then I turned straight to drinking drugs, and then obviously over time it took it all away. But like I'm saying, you lose a fight, you fucking.
I know.
You have to be main strong. If you didn't have that inner self belief in yourself, how do you get back?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Never would. Like growing up, like I should have went to the Olympics in 2016. I fought Albert Salmov, world champion at the World Championships. He's a legend. He's the only fighter to ever beat Lomachenko, world champion. I beat him. 100% beat him to give it to him 2-1 split. And I was like, that was my chance for the Olympics.
That was heartbreaking probably for you, yeah.
But I was like, what do you do? Back on the saddle, go again. And then there's loads of wee things happened to me throughout my career, like big fucking opportunities. Like Olympic Games was something I dreamt of my whole life, and at that stage I'm not waiting around for an Olympics. So go to Commonwealth Games here and then I'm going pro. And then you go to America and you're fighting Arnold Barboza in front of 17,000 people at the Barclays Centre, pay-per-view worldwide.
You thought you won that fight as well.
And then people go, fuck me, and then people are saying to me like like a couple of months ago were like, are you going to fight again? You're going to give it another go?
Because you had that break.
I'm trying to get a fight. I'm trying to fight. I fucking can't get a fight. And then now I'm fighting again. I'm back at it. I didn't stop boxing. I still trained that whole year. Just couldn't get a fight.
Because you weren't in the loop. Because you weren't fighting in period.
I'm back because I was irrelevant.
No, that's the way it is. You know what I mean?
Anyone else would just go to like. I was speaking. There was a friend of mine. He was on this podcast. He's a therapist, Emmett Waters, right? And he helps loads of people with trauma and drug addiction. And he's brilliant. He's a brilliant fan. I've been speaking to him, and he's like, you've almost like. In a way, because I was drinking every weekend and all, and just having like going out for dinner and having a few beer. Same again Sunday, go out for dinner, a few beer. I've been on for over a year, like drinking for Saturday and Sunday. We're like, I'm not saying it was really bad, but the way I stand, my standard.
And you can't do that,
But I was going, no fights. I've no one to fight, so what's the
point?
So it was like Saturday dinner, an excuse, man, go for dinner, just so I could have a few pints. I wasn't out every weekend with the lads fucking partying the way you were sitting for days like a fucking scarecrow. And I was going to myself, this is doing my head, and I'm stuck in a rut here, ringing out for dinner Friday, Saturday, Sundays, drinking Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday.
And before you know it, you've rattled up like 30 beer over the weekend.
And I was in that rut every weekend for about fucking a year, and then he was saying to me, like, it's almost as if like you've accepted that you're retired now.
More or less, because you weren't getting that fight.
Because you're not getting fights, but why not getting fights? And he was like, he made it all make sense. And And it's almost as if, like, that's what my body, like, when people are asking me, when are you fighting? And I was going, fuck, God knows. God knows.
That's a way of avoiding. Because obviously that upsets and hurts you that you're not fighting. You want fights and you can't get them. See, your boxing's your identity, part of you. Boxing's part of you. When you don't have it, and people are coming to you every now and again saying, "Why you're not fighting no more?" and thinking you're retired.
You're losing your
identity. You know what I mean? You're losing your identity.
You're not relevant anymore. You're not even like, I was calling people out on Twitter and all, and they're probably going, "Fuck, he's sitting my feet."
It's like Liam,
or Liam had my phone.
Big stories. Who you slamming to? You ain't gonna break your neck and I get a
Oh, that's just the way it goes. Like, and fucking, it's like, he made me understand. I was like, no, what, he's right. Like, he's going, you need to look at yourself like a world champion, and I am what I do.
But it's a mentality thing. Like, that's what I said. All the best footballers in the world, they have this mentality. As soon as anything bad happens, they come back. You know what I mean? They come back with it. Any sport in the world, no matter what sport you play, you need to be strong-minded. You know what I mean? You need, because no matter what happens, a lot of the time, negative things or bad things happen for a reason, for you to become back strong and become a better person.
That's a test of character, isn't it?
It took me to nearly to not want to be here no more.
Yeah.
Till I was brave enough to change or ask for help and change my life. You know what I mean? If I didn't, see, if I wasn't suicidal, Sean, I would never have reached out and got help, because I'd have got 3 or 4 days clean again, and I went, I'm alright, fuck around me. You know what I mean? And then a week later, I've been like, cry my eyes out. Fucking, you know what I mean? Like, what do I do with my life? You know what I mean? Your life's falling apart around you, and I just wasn't able to see it. But it's just a mentality thing. And a lot of people don't have it. Like me, I don't know what it was for me. It took just that football thing was enough to send me completely gone. You know what I mean? I sometimes go to myself, I should have been stronger, but should have been. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. You know what I mean?
At that stage, you weren't clearing in on the, you know what I mean, the person you are, and like you didn't know all this underlying stuff of like trauma was having an
like I say, I was a late developer too, and in that age group, and there was me, and then like me, I was just like a fucking child, and then the next one to me was about 5 years difference, so I had to carry myself as arrogant, cheeky, and I played football and I was aggressive, like I was really aggressive, you know what I mean? I smashed people all over the place, and on the pitch I felt like I could match people, but in the change room, fuck, I was shaking like a dog's dick all the time, you know what I mean? And even first time I ever walked in that Clinville change room too, do you remember the big Rockford boots? I used to have a big, I had a big pair of black Rockford boots, a suit on, pair of white socks, and big white stripes along the Rockport boots at the bottom. I actually ended up getting them binned, and my ma bought me black Nike ones with Herbal on them. Black Nike boots, you know what I mean? I was wearing them with suits now. So I was fucking, that even slagging, even getting slagged like that about that be stupid stuff. Inside I was fucking squealing, you know what I mean?
See, that's why
couldn't handle
it. Like you were saying earlier about growing up in the household with five older brothers, and you're the youngest. Obviously I was youngest too, but my household, we just slagged. We're all thick skinned because we just slagged every single day. Even still to this day, all we do is slag each other. Like, as soon as we see each other, it's not like, it's like, hack your hair. Go ahead, crowbar teeth. It's just pure slagging, and it doesn't stop. It does not stop. See, like we were on, like I was on in bed, and Dee and Liam would be in that room, me and Jared would be in that room. Someone would knock a wall, like that. I go, what? Or they would go, gee, shake yourself. And just shake stuff in the room. And there you go, fuck you up. And then, what? Just keep knocking the wall. And I go, Liam, stop, I'm trying to go to sleep. He's going, here, Sean. That's you shut yourself. You know what I mean? I was going, fuck me.
Well, our house was the same. Even our Steve was mustard. Even me and our Steve were drinking again. He used to do my head, and there used to be a crowd of people sitting in the party, and he says, I was fucking far better at your football. Steve was a good footballer. He slacked a few native school of actions when he was under 10 or something. And every time we were in a party, he would come up with serious. I'm fucking far better than you. What do you mean? I'm far better than you. And he crack it up and all. I was going, Steve, I played Ice League football. What have you ever played? Sure, Ice League shit. I played no sweat. You know what I mean? I could play at no sweat, and the comp was serious as fuck. Jeez, the amount of times I had to go, here, do my head, I'm little, shut up. How could you say?
It's like people go to me, who's better? People do this to me and Dee. Who's better? They tell the truth. I mean, me. And they go, no, you're better. I slap my head at you. I go, no, you wouldn't. Dee, you boxed till you were 18 and you were running a couple of hours days. I mean, you didn't even go anywhere near the level I've boxed at. Oh, but this is the thing, you're talking shit because you didn't make it anywhere near the level that I did.
That's what I used to say to him as well. I mean, football doesn't matter. 11, 10, 11, 12 years of age. That's not serious football. I mean, when you get to 17, when you get to 17, 18, 19, 20, that's when football matters.
I mean, what is because when you're a kid playing football, you might have been a cracking footballer, but you're just running all the place.
But even usually the bigger ones were always the best at that age.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And I go
full
people fall apart, and in a party full of people, and I go, what age you stop at? 13 or something. No, but how can you be better? I mean, you stop playing at 13.
See your Stephen for being he's small and all too, but he was very mature when he was younger. I remember like he would have ran about with Dean and all and party and all, and I always remember him people being afraid of him, loads of people being afraid of him. You know what I mean? I was like, fuck me.
But because when he was small, I think it's just in some of us too. Stephen obviously suffered as well with a drink. You know what I mean? But his way of avoiding who he was the drink. And then even younger ages, I was that scared of people attacking me. I had to be the one to be cheeky and arrogant first. You know what I mean? Even in a party, I always felt like it. I always felt like I'm going to have to slag him here before he starts slagging me, and then he'll not slag me. And I was obviously, Stephen was the same way. He obviously felt like he had to be on about being a wee bully boy just to keep people away and protect himself. But that is a way of protecting yourself. You know what I mean? Just be aggressive.
I didn't do fuck all. I was like Dean, Liam take up all slack. Like if anyone, I didn't really fit. But if it did or anyone was slobbered, I just get Liam and Davey. That was the other thing. They can sort of it.
Your house must have been a mad house too.
But me, if I get on a fit, I remember I was fitting with one of my mates, Racy, before. He took his hat off and fucking about, throwing his hat about, and he just thundered me. Right, just turned around, we were all throwing his hat about, and he was running about trying to grab it, and then when I got and put it in here, I had it in my coat, and he just went boom, and just hit me a dig right in the eye of blue. I was like,
what was that?
Me and him were scuffing, fighting phrases. He was naggered. I remember fucking having him down, punching at him, and then it all broke up, and I went home. My dad went, what the fuck happened to you? I was fighting. He's like, what? You're fighting? Who the fuck do you think you are? I went,
oh, your dad on this?
Was
that because you were boxing?
I don't know. He just went, fuck, I mean, fucking day fights every week. I mean, not a word said.
He still fights every week.
My dad went nuts. I was going to take him back, but I was like...
But even see... You're all respectful, you know what I mean? Even though
you don't go out of your way to
fight people. I've watched Steve loads of times going to hit people because they hit somebody else, you know what I mean?
He's like trying to bully the bully.
Dave was always like that. I know nothing to do with Dave's way slapping people's ears.
Him and fucking Lacko's my mate, and they were in Caffrey's. And it was the night I actually got arrested, right? So I got done for fucking assault the police officer, disorderly behaviour and resisting arrest over us, right?
Morphed into Dean Liam for one night.
We went out. We only get back from the World Championships. Me and McComb want to go medal all. So we done like a wee bus tour and all, like open top bus tour. Mick was showing us go medal off, went the way forward, rock bar, all different bars. We ended up in Carfrey's, ended up there all night. Our day went outside, fucking Lacko slapped Rubberneck.
Ginger?
They end up slapping Lacko. Lacko went, fucking scumbags, housebreaker. Or something like that. And they went, so fuck, you won't slap me like that. And Lacko went, what do you even care for? Him and Lacko ended up fighting like fuck. Cops all came. I was trying to break it up. Cops had D and I had a cop chase me, caught me. I ended up in cells all night and then get charged with it. Fuck's sake. So I was going. The next day I got to the cells. Lacko phoned me. He was like, your D fucking still rang me here looking to meet me for 4 days. And I phoned D. Me, what's crack here was what? Me, why are you ringing Lacko? He's like, I want to have a 4 day.
Didn't care.
Why? Me, why are you? Me, Lacko's my mate, man. I don't care. Me, you don't care. Me, why were you fighting him for? Because he slapped Rubberneck. He actually called himself on. He started laughing.
Did
he? Like, know what I mean? Like, look, do you know what I mean? You're starting fighting with someone over Rubberneck.
Nothing to do with
you know what I mean? Nothing to do with you. And it's just.
But you all have that in you. You know what I mean? You don't like to see a bully. I
know, but
it's a good trait. You know what I mean? These a good lad as well. You know what I mean? He's a real good lad. Like, as mad as he is, he's a good cunt, you know what I mean?
I teach you to know him to be like, fuck. Like,
he's alright. You see him on the drink, you'd run a mile, but you know what I mean?
Run a mile. I seen him last week. I was going to a fight in Windsor Park, right, watching Lewis Crocker fight. And I had a spur ticket, ringside ticket, so I phoned him. It was my mass 60th that night. I was saying Liam had to leave. So I phoned in and says, I'm on these fights. Do you want to go? I have a spur ringside ticket. We'll go down and watch the fights. Like, no, Sean, he's running. That does a lot of marathon run now. He was, no, I have 23 mile to do more. And me, so what? She come down here and fucking watch the fight. She's like, no, I'm not drinking around me. I'm not drinking. I'm off a drink. I'm just watching the fight. You're allowed to. And he's like, no, I'm gonna go up and show my face to my ma's party. Throw a card in, drop my shoulder, get a pizza with the kids, me right, no sweat. So we changed your mind, you know where I am. Sat there anyway. Fight was over, jumped in the car, flew up the court in the morning, showed my face myself. Walked in, locked through the dance floors, RD upside down, headstands, here's me, fuck.
Yeah, I
23 male, he's not doing that.
I think he done it.
I don't know what he done, he's fucking his head's up his
Hey guys, I'm in the New Hills, over 35 shot, and I'm near sure.
Are you playing?
Well, I played one game or something in the summer.
Right,
I'm not allowed to play. So I'm not
allowed to play.
I only played one friendly game for them in the summer, and I think I seen in the chat that he done that run the next day.
He loves it.
He's doing some running now too. Like
he done it. He phoned me and he was doing 18 mile and he was on the drinking night before and I didn't know and he phoned me. Where are you? And I was like, fuck, I'm in calf here, man, getting something. It was Sunday morning. He's like, Sean, my phone's on 1% here and I'm running down the, what I call it there, the Hanstown. He's like, I'm gonna faint. My move is like fucking Gandhi flip flop.
What was he running, or was
he was out? He done an 18 mile run. Had to run the rip at 5 in the morning.
Oh
jeez! I got up at 7 and done an 18 mile run. We're at running club. He phoned me, "Have you money here?" His phone was ready to die. He's like, in case I don't make it, they shop to tap my phone. He's like, I'll stay here. We're only bowling in the calf. I smell the drink. I'm sweating. 18 mile round.
That's man. I couldn't even run 18 mile now myself.
I'm
fit enough.
I couldn't run 18 mile with a pair of rollerblades though.
It's mental. He's doing
all downhill.
He's doing the marathons as well. He has somebody training.
He's trying to go to Boston, do the Boston Marathon. Whether he gets a ticket or not, it's another thing because it's hard to get into. Boston Marathon's one of the main ones. Like after bombing and all. So he gets into that there. It's something. What about football? Were you gonna go into coaching, or are you gonna obviously like all them mad years of your life? It's good to say you've done it and like you've come out the other side of it, and you're still gonna continue obviously fighting to stay on the other end of it. Like, but if you want like going forward, like any ambitions of like giving back to football or something that's gonna.
Well, I was like, I always thought I get a lot to give to coaching, obviously, because of what I went through, loss of confidence and all. But I always thought a lot to give. But that's the thing that held me back again, the fear of standing up in front of people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I done that thing on Friday, but that was my life's biggest fear, see, standing up in public speaking. So up to now, I done my level 1 coaching about 10 years ago, and I get through it, but I was that scared. I promised myself that I would never do it again. Obviously, things, the situation's different now. Now I'm a wee bit more comfortable with myself and I'm learning more about myself. So even getting them conference, even coming on here, it shows that I'm growing up a bit, you know what I mean? I'm maturing and it may be a bit more comfortable.
The central nervous system actually recognises stuff like this. You know what I mean? Like it starts to go like, that was alright.
That was alright. But it's I'm still playing that. I mean, that's while I'm still playing, I don't think I have the time for it. Obviously, my wee girl Clora, she's living with me and all as well now. So, and I have Alex, like I was saying to you beforehand, fucking every day a week. So, I don't think I have the time. But when I stop playing, I keep telling myself, better still, I'm gonna say it now. I am gonna do it because obviously that fear is gonna be there. But the fear isn't the same for me anymore. I know now when fear shows up, I can push through it. I know I can just. It's only fear, you know what I mean? It's not going to kill me, you know what I mean? It's only normal for everybody to get scared of doing something new, especially. So I'm definitely going to do it. Maybe if I stop playing this year, I'm doing all right still, that's the thing. But
why, Lisburn Rangers?
Lisburn Rangers.
The Swifts Drews.
Swifts Drews in the cup.
That's a tough draw for both teams.
But they're a good side as well. So you.
Some money, but we've signed too, but you
have had loads of money anyway.
You were probably the draw that the hardest draw to get, like.
Because
I would say looking across.
It's that'll be a good game too. But
great game.
But that's what I'm saying. I missed the whole of last year.
Yeah.
And then I was thinking, that's me done. I'm not even going to try and get back. But I'm weighing up to what am I? I'm weighing up to 76 kilo when I didn't play all last year because of the injury. I did try and play, but it just wasn't. My ankle was goosed. And then in April, the last 3 games of the season, I got back playing. And like I said, my weight was 76 kilo. So then I knew if I was going to play this year, I needed to go in and do some wee bit extra and try and get the weight down. Started doing spins twice a week earlier just to give the ankle a break, and then went back into pre-season, done the running and felt dead on. I was like still smoking on the younger ones, you know what I mean? And I was like, right, I'm going to give us a crack. And the weight's now down to 70. I was 71.8 when I weighed myself a day. And for me, like I was probably that weight 10 years ago. My weight doesn't really fluctuate, obviously, because I didn't eat much. I only had 2 days a week, so it was all right. But I would weigh myself. That's obviously why the ankles not give me as much jip. My lower back goes on me too. Not carrying that wee bit of weight, but. As soon as I think I'm embarrassed myself or people running past me, I'll stop. But at the minute, it's not like
yourself,
that.
You'll know yourself.
And even,
but
obviously,
but see when you think about it, see even like Lisbon Rangers, it's a good level. It's still a drop down of what you're capable of. You know what I mean? Like at the standard you play at, if your legs haven't given way, you're still capable.
But that's it. The first couple of yards are in your head anyway. So obviously now we're me a clear head. No, like sometimes I can cruise through games and not have to do any running. You know what I mean? Yeah. Just about being in the right place. Obviously, just experience. You know what I mean? Just experience. Just be in the right place at the right time and just do the simple things. Where my game is always about sprinting up and down a pitch 100 mile an hour 50 times a game. But and obviously, it can't be like that no more. But the thing is, as soon as if people are standing me up and taking me on and going past me all the time, I couldn't handle it. I couldn't handle it. I would jack. If I would just kick somebody and walk off. But it's not happening at the minute. It's not happening. I seem to be doing all right still. So as long as that's happening, I'll play. And then that's when I'll probably step into the coaching. But see, the thing with recovery, Sean, is as well. Like, I didn't plan. The first time I done that podcast with your wee man, I don't know, I had this sense of there's a purposeness. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of things today for me, if I can help somebody like doing these or speak up about something, it makes me feel good. I feel good doing things for others, you know what I mean? And if I get the chance to do it, I'll do it. And coaching's going to be that thing too. Like coaching, I know from what I've experienced, also confidence now, I can spot a player straight away when he's low in confidence, you know what I mean? And I'll know how to handle him because of the that serious stuff.
You'll know he needs a hand wrap there, and just say, like, you can get the best out of players like that.
No, some players need it, bollocking. I was one of them players that didn't. You fucking shouted at me and I curled up the ball. Obviously, that's what happened. We're Killen all the time. It got too much. There was so much of it. Do you know what I mean? And fuck's me, we were in Falls Park training. In our story, we were in White Rock training. Well, the first team got the night off, and McCrackens had a match in Falls Park, and I went up in the change room at half time. We played in the Falls Park and went up in the White Rock change room. And obviously, the first team manager Eddie gave me a night off. I down there in the change room, reserve team manager standing there. And he was like, what the fuck are you doing here? And I pulled the top off his meat. I was just watching that game down there. And it's right down there the way I went down and started playing the second half, and 15 minutes later Eddie Patterson turned up this idiot pitch. Aaron Smyth get off the fuck 2 weeks wages, fine straight away. For McCrackens had some team. Like, there were some good players just full of headers. Just picking people off the street, jumping in.
He's a flat out in the minibus. If you
Shamey.
football
God rest him. Shamey's passed now as well.
People who just flat. If you have football boots, jump in.
There's people there who could play football. You know what I mean? Turf roads.
There was loads of good footballers, and obviously it transferred over into Gaelic. Jordan and all, and Toots. Like people who just knew how to play football, jumped in the back.
Footballers always make best. Even a lot of us with the ball dropping the floor, we used to just run with the ball on our feet. Going on a man and Gaelic men absolutely hated that because you can't slide tackle. You know what I mean? And you can't lift the ball or anything, you know what I mean? So it was harder for him to play. But even McCrackens, I loved playing. It
was good. Like, I used to sit down and watch and just go like, fuck me. I remember time, I think McCrackens were playing Ardo and it was murder. Big Mock and I was in the sideline with Barrack Busters. And John Finnegan though. We're all standing drinking Barrack Busters in the sideline, Fra Foster and all, and then it was murder, Ardoin ones and McCracken ones. Fuck me, I made it here.
McCracken's there were some players there, even our Seamus played right up to he was about, I don't know what age he was, he must have been old anyway. He run the Vipers. Our Seamus had a limp. No, I remember when he was playing, he run the Viper limp. Archie, another one and played. The team was, you know what I mean? Just a team full of street hooligans.
I thought it was.
Get them on the van.
Off the street, just fly about, not big many buses. Fly about, jump in.
Get them on the van.
At the bookies and turf.
But what about you? Are you going to coach or boxing wise?
Well, it's something I'll always go into coaching, like with boxing. Like, I'll go into Holy Trinity first. Like, obviously that's only voluntary work. Obviously, as most is, but.
Did you ever find a difference or discomfort in coaching? Obviously, you spoke about how sure yourself you are. You know what I mean? I've never had that. It's alien to me. Do you know what I mean? So doing all this here, even doing this here, it's all new. You know what I mean? It's going to take me probably.
And see, like the way social media is going and the way you get your name out there and your story, like see your life. It's a fucking great story and it's so relatable to so much people.
So many people, especially in our area too.
Like even me, like on the drink and all and having a swallow, like we all love a swell. He doesn't love a swell, but that's the problem. You love it
too much.
You love it too much. That's the problem, and I'm well aware of it. But like, it's a good story, and as I say, there's a big world out there. Like, and now social media is just like it's people. The amount of people who stop me and go, "You're your man off TikTok, or you're your man off a podcast."
Didn't he know you from
boxing?
I just
boxed 25 years. No one who knows me.
But that's
Just,
you know what I mean. It's
you
social
have
media.
to-
It's
you know
it's
what I
open to everybody. That's
what I'm saying.
do you know what I mean? It's just
like,
open to everybody.
But
again, that comes with its own pressures as well for people. I'm not one to scroll. I don't do none of that shit.
No,
Like,
I don't scroll either. I actually don't. Because
like,
people go to me, "Why'd you get him on the podcast?" I go, like,
who is
they'll
it?
go to me, "Did you get him on?" I go, "Fuck that." They go, "Obviously you know him." I go, "I don't know him."
I feel like that as well.
I don't scroll.
But you know what I mean? It's so much. You've enough going on in your own life. You don't need to. I don't anyway. Compare, fucking try and get involved in other people's. You know what I mean? I have enough going on.
But
in
it's
my own.
like, I'll go into coaching. I'll definitely go into coaching, and I'll volunteer in Holy Trinity for a while. And something with me, like, professional coaching separate. The
Like one-to-ones and stuff.
Club, because when you take on a professional boxer, I wouldn't take on someone if I didn't think to be a world champion. Like,
Oh, you mean like, I get,
I
yeah.
wouldn't just go and just coach people that win an Irish title or British title. I would, like, I already know I'm a lethal coach. I already know it. No one, I don't believe anyone has a better boxing IQ than me. Like, not in this island anyway. Like, and like, my coach Pete Taylor, he's Katie Taylor's dad. We work very well together. So maybe I'll do something with him in the future.
That mindset will always carry you anyway. You know what I mean? That
just
belief you have in
I
yourself.
have confidence to just do it. I've been there and done it. I've experienced it. There's no reason why I can't. You know what I mean?
Aye.
And that just comes from just hours and hours and hours and hours.
Doing the same
and
things.
Just different styles. Been the World Championships, Europeans. I've seen every style of boxer. Kazakhstan.
But that doesn't like, that just doesn't come. You know what I mean? You have to you have to build resilience somewhere along the way for you to be able to keep going. I don't care what happens here. I'm still going to be the best. I'm still going to be good.
That's what happens now. Like, see my mate Jazza Dickens. He's world champion now, right? He's Scouser. He trained with us in Dublin. He fought for world title years ago against Rogondo, a Cuban. Got his jaw broke, stopped in the second round, and then he rebuilt his career. Fought for world title again there a couple of years ago against Kid Galahad. Stopped again. Built himself up again. Won like an IBO world title. It's not really recognised. And then we went to Dubai. I was doing his corner now. I got knocked out. He was winning easy. 10 Frank got knocked out. Trained again. He's like, I don't care. I just want to make a title. I just want to keep going. And he just kept going and kept going. Last year, or about 4 months ago, I won a world title, WA world title.
Brilliant.
And he was like,
that's it. They usually say anyway.
GPT joking and going, you must be the longest person to not win a world title. So like, it took him 14 years as a pro.
And he kept at it.
And he kept going, kept going. He's a world champion.
That's what people setbacks usually make people. You know what I mean? Like I say, as any sort of traumas and things in your life, like it gets you to the point when you're at your lowest.
I'm gonna get him on the podcast, but you want to see his life?
Mental. No, I mean, there's success stories. Sometimes people need to get the rock bottom to change their life. You know what I mean?
100%.
Like, if I'd have lived mediocre and like, say if I hadn't got as bad as I got, I'd have kept convincing myself that I was alright. You know what I mean? But it took me to get to the point where I was completely suicidal, or else I'd have never changed. Okay. Like, the thing was, I couldn't live another day. The way I felt, I didn't want to live another day. So if it forced me in, and then I couldn't even use any more. I had psych every time I went somewhere. I was pouring it out of my head. I was psychosis, and I was getting that every single time now. So, and I was barred from every bar in West Belfast as well. I wasn't allowed into no bars in West Belfast. I obviously had a couple of death threats by.
I ended up sitting in Falls Park.
Sitting on my own.
Wee barn, no.
And then feeling that way, that's when the bravery came for me to reach out and get help. You know what I mean? And it's not easy. That's what I mean. People need to be.
That's the hardest step.
Hardest step. Once you do that,
you start talking. It's like, whoa.
People just gauge you and people help you and people gauge you. But it takes. That's what I'm saying. People who are hit rock bottom usually turn out as a success story. And even for me, I'm proud of myself now for where I've got to, where I've came from. And even just when I first came into recovery, my wee girl for the first 6 months came over and more or less stayed with me every night of the week. And I used to say she was my guardian angel. And then there's a year and a half, nearly 2 years down the line, she's living with me now. Do you know what I mean? And like, I could never have been there for my kids. Like I said before, was that before? Or was the kids were just a burden. Like, they got in the way of me using or doing whatever I wanted to do. My mindset was obviously back to front. So things that were important to me was looking forward to this weekend, partying, drinking. And that thing about addiction, there was times there when I was able to, like, not to drink during the week, and obviously a lot of time I didn't. But
Yeah.
my mind, I wasn't happy until I got that next drink, and I constantly would have thought about it. And when I had my kids, I was agitated, frustrated, angry, and I just constantly, and the only thing that made me happy was drink. And then only now when I look back, going, that fucking bastard thing was the thing that near put me in an early grave. And now I can see so many different things in my life, even the small. Like, this might sound stupid, but if I go into just a big green field, nothing in it, pure bare, it looks different. Now I can sit in my own and just breathe.
Culture,
just
nature.
Just breathe, Sean. I'm not joking. And I go to myself, fuck me, this is lethal. You know what I mean? This is lethal, but in the past it was always just like...
That's a gratitude.
Just
a sense of gratitude to be like...
And peace, you know what I mean? Contentment.
It's just like, I'm not suffering. I'm not suffering half as much. The only suffering you do now is against your addiction, yes or no. And it's just
and
no.
see,
just convince yourself it's a no.
That voice in your head now becomes less and less, you know what I mean? Like, the desire to use...
It's not a way of life anymore.
Right, see, the desire to use, to be honest, Sean, when I first went into the meeting, but it was that bad for me, and the desire to use near enough left me right away. But I now started to learn that whenever I was feeling sad, unhappy, any of them feelings at all, like my first thought, my thinking was, I know it'll take it away.
Yep.
I'll go and use drugs, you know what I mean? And today, it's not like that. Now I have other coping mechanisms to go, phone people, connection with good people are in the same boat, to speak to them straight away about it, have a sponsor, and all that stuff is...
That makes a difference.
Even them thoughts come up now. I'm obviously wise enough to go, they're only thoughts now. You know what I mean? But in the past, I didn't want any different. I fucking wanted it and I went and got it. You know what I mean? And I remember you were thinking we were fighting in the Odyssey. You were Odyssey and I was 30 days clean on the night that you were fighting.
That's right.
I fucking cried my eyes out at that thing that night. Sat in the thing, and I think Gary Dorian and all the Emmons, everybody was all behind me.
Yeah.
And fair play to be Gaz came over and sat beside me. He was like, "You alright?" And my whole body was... Because I'd been the first in the time that I'd been out.
In an environment that wasn't good for you. Like,
in that atmosphere as well.
Yeah.
And I asked... Because we on a ticket.
I remember you telling me you struggled. I remember you telling me that.
I brought Bjorn with me and I asked him, could he come and go? And he says no, he didn't want to go, and I had to persevere and stay there. But my whole body was shaking, and I didn't... See the update then? I had doubts whether I was an addict or not. You know what I mean? And that night proved it to me.
Proved it.
I sat and cried, Sean, watching your fight, and Arn was like, what's the matter? And I was like, nothing, I'm alright. And I asked him, did he want to go home? And he says no, and I had to just persevere and just stay there. You know what I mean? But listen, they're all part of learning, you know what I mean? It's all part of learning.
No, 100%. Well, look, listen, I'm pretty anyway, Arn. I
appreciate it, Sean. Thank you.
And we'll wrap it up here, but I'm glad you came in and shared your story. I'm sure there's plenty of more people can relate to it, and hopefully it does well, because I missed the Man City match over the country.
Hopefully somebody gets something from it, Sean. You know what I mean? Obviously, your bar, my bar, both clean now, and you know what I mean. It branches out, it helps other people,
100%.
and then it'll not be me, it'll be somebody else telling their story, and then it'll help someone. But yeah, appreciate being on. Thank you.
Come on.